This is the Conservative Outlaw. Make sure you give us a like and a subscribe and share with your friends. It helps us out, helps the channel out, and helps us bring you more information.
A question or two about your judicial philosophy, and I want to start by referencing a picture that maybe will come up behind me. This was maybe a photo you've seen before. It's not a pleasant one, but it did occur right here in the district. This is Edward Correstein. Edward was 19 years old when this photo was taken. This is just from July of this year. He was a government employee at the time. This is in Logan Circle here in the district. He was out one evening, I think with his girlfriend, when he was attacked. He and his female friend both were attacked by a roving band of teenagers who left him in this condition, beat him pretty badly. As you can see, he was able to get his female friend into the car and safe, and then turned and confronted the whole band of them himself. And this is the condition he was left in. Looks pretty violent to me, but when the assailants were taken before the D.C. Superior Court, the relevant judge, Judge Kendra Briggs, who I'm sad to say was reported favorably out of this committee, though, over my no vote, she gave the assailants 0 prison time. 0 prison time. And what she said was the purpose of sentencing is not punishment. That's a quote, not punishment. It is rehabilitation. And apparently she thinks that allowing people who do that kind of thing to 19-year-olds, allowing them to get off without any kind of punishment is rehabilitative. That is its own interesting question. But I want to ask you first, do you agree that the purpose of sentencing is not punishment, but rehabilitation? I'd like to hear from each of you on this. I think it's an important question. Mr. Trung, let's start with you.
Thank you, Senator. My approach to sentencing is to consider the pre-sentencing report of the defendants, the witness victim impact statement, the community impact statement, any recommendations from the prosecutors and the...
Well, what's the purpose of sentencing in your words? What's your philosophy?
My approach to sentencing is to consider all the facts, apply the law, and to impose sentence that reflects the seriousness of the crimes.
Well, do you think that punishment is an appropriate aspect of sentencing?
That is one factor to consider within the context of the approach to sentencing.
Do you agree with Judge Biggs that the purpose of sentencing is not punishment but rehabilitation?
Your Honor, Senator, I don't have...
That's fine. You can say Your Honor. It's all right. I'll answer that.
I appear in court so many times that I have the reflex of referring to those in the honorific title. Well, Senator, I don't have all the information that Judge Briggs had in front of her. So and I need to be circumspect in my response because judicial canons counsel that as a judicial nominee, I should refrain from commenting issues that may appear before me.
Well, I'm not asking you to comment on this case. This case is over. You're not going to have this case. I'm asking you about you, and I'm not asking you about her. I'm asking you about you. I want to know what your judicial philosophy is. And my question is, would you agree that the purpose of sentencing is not punishment, but rehabilitation? That's a pretty stark, that framing is pretty stark. Not punishment, but rehabilitation. Do you think that's right?
Well, my sentencing philosophy is to impose a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the crimes and the imposed consequences that are deserved within the context of studying the facts and applying the law to the facts.
Okay, I wish you'd be a little less circumspect. Ms. Settenberg, go ahead.
Senator, I can't speak to that particular case given that, but I will say that I spent my career as a prosecutor fighting crime, and I'm certainly committed to accountability structures and judge both for juveniles and for adults. When it comes to sentencing, I think that there are important retribution, deterrence, incapacitation, rehabilitation. Given the severity of the crime, I think you have to look to what is going to serve the interest of justice in any particular case, and there could be different goals that are depending on.
Let me ask you this. Shouldn't keeping the public safe be a major goal of sentencing?
Yes.
Shouldn't keeping violent offenders off of our streets be a goal of sentencing?
I absolutely agree. There should be.
Okay, good. Mr. Ricard, what about you?
Yes, Senator, thank you. I would follow the law of the District of Columbia, which requires considering a number of factors, including the seriousness of the offense, imposing a sentence that reflects the seriousness of the offense and the criminal history of the offender, a sentence that provides sufficient deterrence, both specific deterrence to the individual offender and general deterrence to the community, and that the third factor does consider rehabilitation, but that's just one of the three factors that has to be considered.
And with last question, Mr. Chairman, and do you agree that protecting the public and getting violent offenders off the streets is an important goal of sentencing?
Yes, I think that's the deterrence that I just mentioned. Specific deterrence is making sure that someone who's committed a violent crime and is likely to do so again would not do so.
Well, I have some more questions for those of the rest of you on the panel. I'm sure you're very disappointed I didn't get to ask you any. Congratulations again on your nomination.